What's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. Hey, guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the impromptu Thursday live stream sparked by a very important document and a demand. Where'd that... There's a mosquito. There's a mosquito in my house. Less a demand and more a subtle request for a live stream. But, what do I have to do tonight other than live stream? Not much. Not much, so it's a good night for it. Yeah. And all of the criticisms I am getting are welcome. Welcome criticisms. I'm either too late or too early or something. And that is fine. And, you know how it is. I have been criticized a lot today. just riffing. Since we're a little earlier than I said I would start, I'm gonna give it just a minute and talk about how much I love Twitter. Are you even a clock? I'm not. Hey, Dick, what's up, buddy? The shirt. Yeah, this is an Ecuador soccer jersey I got while I was doing that thing where you sponsor kids in another country for like only so much a day and they get like food and shoes and stuff. And the two kids I was sponsoring happened to be from Ecuador, so I got an Ecuador soccer jersey to send them a nice family photo with. No, I wasn't suspended on Twitter. No. I was not suspended or anything like that. What I was, though, was presented with baffling arguments and massive amounts of stupidity in giant heaping scoops. So I that was good times. Good times. What are you? Seriously, stupid mosquito. So I won't sit and dwell on it or anything like that. I'm not gonna publicize the people who were involved. You can just go look or whatever. And just find any thread that I started that's like 7 million comments long and me being perpetually frustrated by either like really bad arguments or by people calling me racist, which is fine. So I'm looking for this. Let me talk about what I'm drinking right now, or what I'm about to be drinking. I got to meet someone when I was down. I told you guys I'd be down in Bremont, Texas, for the Polish pickle run, and also the Rekieta family reunion, which was fun. And while down there, I got to briefly meet one of you guys, Soban in the Discord. I'm not going to dox his real name or anything. I'm not sure exactly what he goes by on YouTube. I think he mostly listens to the podcast version of the show, but Soban was there, and he and his girlfriend were wonderful to meet. I wish I could have spent a little more time with them, but that's, things work out the way they work out. But he was gracious enough to give me this Crown Royal Black, since he is a Canadian, and this is the song and dance of his people. So let's see if I'm racist against Canadians today. Usually I am. Hold on. That's okay, Jamie Hughes. That's okay. It was hot, man. Oh my gosh. So if you guys know I live in Minnesota, but if you haven't experienced a Minnesota or a comparable winter, let me explain something to you. It gets so cold sometimes that your face hurts when you go outside. All right? And when I was down in Bremont, and I grew up partly in Houston, Texas, and I spent significant amounts of time in Texas every year. So, no stranger to it, but man, it was so hot that I was getting luggage out of my car at the tiny little hotel, and my face actually hurt. Oh, it was horrid. Okay. Sorry about the delay in getting the Crown Royal. Ooh, this is darker than regular Crown. Okay. That's good. It's got a heavier like caramel and vanilla taste than regular Crown. It's smoother than Crown. I think it's got a little more alcohol in it. This is good. I'm not the biggest fan of just plain Crown Royal, but I'd give this another drink easy. Okay. Feelings on bourbon. I have good feelings while I'm drinking bourbon. But I've never tried pecan bourbon. I would love to. The Discord. Sorry, getting back to a question. There isn't a Discord link except for Patreons. It's $5 and higher Patreons are invited to the Discord, and the reason for that is that the other public Discords that I've been in just get swamped with conversation and are open to trolls and stuff like that, and I don't want that. Like, there's a lot of activity on social media already, and so I like to be able to interact with the Discord in some intelligible way. If you're a $5 patron and you don't have a Discord invite, send me a message on Patreon and I'll get you one. That works the best way. Okay, so let's get to this document. Since I've effectively killed 7 minutes of time, let's get to this document quick, and we're going to go through it, talk about some possible implications of it, and then let's see. Then after that, people can persuade me to live stream about whatever. I don't think this document's going to be that long, and I want to let people have I don't want to make people wait too long to do it. So we're 8 minutes in. Let's get started. Here we go. So this is the stipulation allowing withdrawal of counsel for plaintiffs. And look at this. Guys, who typed this? There's no apostrophe randomly on plaintiffs up in the caption. There's no errant apostrophe on plaintiffs down here. Did Daddy Landau type this? I can't tell. I cannot tell who typed this document. It might be a forgery. We should maybe send a warning to Judge Ramos that this has to be a forgery, another cunning ploy of Maddox or something, because there are just not enough errant apostrophes so far in the first sentence. So, whereas a motion to withdraw as counsel for plaintiffs George Uzunian, again, no errant apostrophe. I don't know what to do. Counsel for plaintiffs George Uzunian and Jessica Blum was filed by order to show cause, henceforth OSC. Was filed by, well, it wasn't filed by order to show cause. So there is a grammatical mistake here. But we'll see. By counsel Kevin A. Landau, Esquire. Look, Kevin, your counsel, we know you're an Esquire. Weird. And the Landau Group PC law firm, henceforth petitioner. On or about June 18th, 2018, documents number 135 and 136. Whereas the court ordered a hearing on petitioner's OSC, or order to show cause, on July 11th, 2018, document number 137. Whereas, get this now, plaintiffs reside in California, making it difficult for them to attend a hearing on July 11th, 2018. Despite their repeated protestations that New York was convenient and they were prepared to be there for depositions and hearings, and in order to preserve precious judicial resources and resolve the vast majority of issues raised in petitioners' order to show cause, it is hereby stipulated and agreed. So this whereas section sets up the foundation for a stipulated agreement. You'll see this a lot in contracts or organizing documents and stuff like that. I don't really like it, but some people do. Whatever. It's cool. It is hereby stipulated and agreed by and between plaintiff George Azunian and Kevin A. Landau, petitioner, his counsel in this matter, that Mr. Landau and the Landau Group PC law firm be allowed to withdraw as counsel of record for plaintiffs in this matter. So, Maddox has agreed, and so has Jessica Blum. Actually, no. This is weird. I don't know if this is a drafting error. I'm guessing it is. But Maddox is allowing Landau to withdraw, but Jessica Blum is not in this stipulated agreement to withdraw. It's just plaintiff George Azunian and Kevin A. Landau. So I guess Jess is still on the hook. I don't know. I'm gonna take the safe bet, guys, and chalk it up to incompetence. It is hereby stipulated and agreed by and between plaintiffs and petitioner that petitioner waives any costs and disbursements presently owed from plaintiffs in this matter. So, Jessica and Maddox have arranged, smartly, a clear bill. They have cleared up the bill. We don't know how this happened specifically. We don't know. Maddox could have sent Landau a payment. I'll talk about my suspicions about what happened in a little bit, but we don't actually know the details. But if the judge approves this stipulated agreement, which I don't see much of a reason for him not to, barring an objection, if he approves of this, this will be a enforceable contract. So Landau will not be able to put a lien on Maddox, will not be able to bill him for any more money, and Maddox and Jess will be in the clear as far as money goes. He knows Maddox is a bum and Jessica got that sweet, sweet daddy's trust fund. Okay. It is hereby stipulated and agreed by and between plaintiffs and petitioner that petitioner agrees to withdraw his pending motion for sanctions if defendants Weber, Shanwick, and Kokino stipulate and agree to withdrawal. Okay, this was Landau, guys. He just worked really hard on the apostrophes and didn't do so well anywhere else. Withdraw is what he means. They're pending cross motions for sanctions, with each party bearing their own costs and attorney's fees. This is motion sequence number 6. It is further stipulated and agreed that for the purpose of this stipulation, a signature made by facsimile or electronic means shall have the same force and effect as an original signature. Agreed as to form and content. New York, June 26, 2018. The Landau Group PC. Signed by George Azunian and Jessica Blum. We have no idea when they signed it. They don't have a date block for those signatures. But, you know, I guess, whatever. And then there's a spot for the judge of the Superior Court to sign. The laziness is apparent in the fact that the JSC takes up an entire third page, whereas they could have eliminated a space somewhere to bring it up to the second page so that they didn't need a third, but whatever. It just looks a little weird. Jacob Cerezia asks, is Jamie Lynn Hughes an inconvenient forum? Is she an inconvenient forum? I don't know. I suppose it would be difficult to argue from inside of her. Like, is that could be some sort of alien thing? Where I guess you pop out. That would make it inconvenient, I guess, if you had to come out for people to hear you. Yeah, I don't know. I think she might be. I don't know, Jamie. I don't know what that even means, but I'm guessing in whatever case, it would be inconvenient for you. Let's see. Crack the case. Landau dismisses Maddox. Both of them feel like they are clear. Jessica doesn't show up. He bills her even more for not showing up. Let's see. Okay, guys. So this is not like that's it. That's the whole document update. There are some other documents on there. If you've checked lawsuit.com, if you check lawsuit.com you will notice that there are several orders that are listed. What is it? I'm just checking the document list. Documents number 138 through 142 are decisions plus order on motions. Those decisions just say that the order is what was stated in the transcript. So they're very unhelpful documents. There's nothing to really go through with them. They're really unhelpful, especially on like motion number 6, which is a sanctions motion. It says it's so ordered, but the sanctions motions are kind of on hold and in some sort of nebulous limbo until especially this gets taken care of. Real question this time, is the lawsuit finally over? Landau's gone. Is this shebang finally done? No. Maybe. And yes, all three of those. One, the judge still has to agree to this stipulation. So a judge has to sign this and order it. 2, sanctions motion 6 is not gone yet. Greenberger and Michael Munoz will have to respond and determine if they want to proceed with the sanctions motions or withdraw from them. I have a feeling that Weber Shandwick and Michael Munoz as counsel for Weber Shandwick will withdraw their sanction request, because I think Weber Shandwick probably wants out. They just want to be out of this thing. They've always wanted to be out of this thing. They don't want to spend any more money. The probability of winning money in sanctions is there, but the probability of getting that money is, always questionable. And it might just be better for them to cut any money that they've already lost from this. Just say, we agree to withdraw. Specific Ocean. I'll address that in a minute. Okay, so then the question will be, what Asterios and Greenberger decide to do on their motion for sanctions. And that'll be up to them. That's a big question. If they want to do it or not. I mean, Asterios is ostensibly funding a legal offense fund, which you can find out about from him at patreon.com/Asterios. He's got like an Indiegogo or something for it. And so, maybe they will pursue that legal offense in the form of sanctions, or they could pursue it in some other ways. There's no way for us to know what they're going to do. We'll just have to wait for that answer. So, so is it over? The judge still has to rule on this and accept withdrawal. The court has to give permission for him to withdraw, and the stipulation doesn't mean they necessarily will. My questions, which I'm sure no one is going to ask, my questions are, this was drafted by Landau in an adversarial action with his own client. Did he advise his clients to obtain counsel to review this document and make sure it was in their best interest to do so? I doubt it. But maybe he did. I just doubt it. I have no evidence of that. I just doubt it. He should have counseled them to have another attorney look at this. Maddox should have had another attorney look at this, and he should have had another attorney determine what the best course of action was, and maybe he did. We won't know. So there's that. But assuming the judge accepts this, then the sanctions motions are the last thing. However, Maddox still can refile against Asterios. That is still going to loom out in limbo, I think, for maybe up to a year. I don't have a great answer on that, on how long the time frame is. It's not just a clear rule, but it seems like they may have up to a year to file an amended complaint, which is really long, but that's the way court works. So, yeah. So anyways, Sergey, yes, sorry. Thanks Ben Garrison for translating the Cyrillic for me. Sergey, sorry buddy. I will one day remember the hieroglyphs that are your name and know how to pronounce them off the top of my head. So that's where we stand on this LoLsuit currently. Still in a holding pattern. But this document dropped. People were asking about it. So here is the live stream. That's it. I can't rant on this for an hour or two. I mean, I can certainly rant on this for days, but I'm gonna open it up to questions, because this lawsuit, or this LoLsuit document, is very basic, very straightforward. It's not long, and there's not a bunch to talk about. So if you have questions about the LoLsuit, talk to me. And then, hold on. Come on. No, mosquitoes. They're everywhere. Got one. Okay, sorry. What's the specific oceans question? Oh, yes. Thank you. Specific oceans question was, you heard from another streamer that Landau is suing me. Who is the other streamer that you heard? I have not been sued by anybody. So, suppose the exclusion of Blum isn't just a drafting error. Is that possible? And what would it mean if so? I mean, it has to be a drafting error, because they mention her everywhere else. It wouldn't make sense that they were withdrawing from just her. But I guess if we're in a weird hypothetical, if he's just withdrawing from Maddox, it means that they found there would be maybe an ethical conflict of interest between Maddox and Jessica Blum, and that he will continue representing Jessica Blum in the matter, but not Maddox. Or maybe he found that there's a path to victory through Jessica Blum, but not through Maddox, in regards to, I don't know, like the Kiwi Farms article or something like that he might have a defamation claim for her. I really don't think so. It is possible that her being left out of this paragraph is intentional. It's possible. I am banking on it being a drafting error. I would be highly surprised if it was not intentional, or if it was intentional. So that's how that goes. Let's see. Let me see if Specific Ocean has answered. Okay, I don't see it. Specific Ocean, if you're there, what streamer said that I was being sued by Landau? If you would. Let's see. Is Maddox still going to have to pay out to Landau? I got in late. No. If the court accepts this stipulated withdrawal, Maddox will not. And let me theory craft about that a little bit. It is possible that part of this stipulated agreement involved a payment from Maddox to Landau, or from Jessica Blum to Landau, of some percentage of what they owe. That could be anything from like 0.1% up to 100%. Who knows? But it is possible that there was a payment involved. We don't know. Here's what I think probably happened, okay? I'm guessing Landau files this document, serves it on Maddox. Maddox calls Landau and says, look, I can't even afford a plane ticket to get to New York in July to fight with this. So even if you win, I can't pay you any money. It's Brad Carter, the Phone Losers and Snowplow Show. Prank call YouTuber again. Might not have been about you, but he talked about your streams in the same sentence. Okay, I'll talk about that in just a second. So I think Maddox is like, look, I can't afford to do this anymore. I'm just burning money on you. Fighting you on this is going to cost me a bunch of money to get out to New York to answer questions, and I don't want to do it. That's, this. They reside in California, making it difficult for them to attend a hearing. That tells me that Maddox doesn't have any money. And so Landau says, okay, you pay me X amount and we'll drop this thing altogether. I'll draft up the withdrawal and I'll say I won't charge you anymore. Maddox agrees with the amount, says okay, pays it, and goes away. That could be $0. There could be no payments. I don't want to insinuate that there definitely was or that there had to be. It's not required. Maddox can agree to this all he wants, but I think Landau was looking at a dry well. Maddox was looking at an insurmountable cost, and that's what prompted this. He just doesn't have the money to keep going. So let's see. So it was Phone Losers, Brad Carter, the Phone Losers. Okay, well, not knowing the specifics of what they said, no, I've not been sued by Kevin Landau or anybody else. However, Kevin Landau did file an ethics complaint against me. He lost in dramatic fashion. I didn't even have to respond. And I did live stream that. So if you want to go back and watch it, it is there. And enjoy it, because I sure did. I did not enjoy having an ethics complaint filed against me, but I did enjoy the fact that the Minnesota Licensing Board did go ahead and stick by me and say there was no breach of ethical rules, because there haven't been, and they didn't try to stop my protected speech, because that would have been annoying. Although, you know, if it happened, I would have fought it tooth and nail. Let's see. Have you had any year length of Dalmore? Yes, I've had a Dalmore, I think a 12 year, but I also had, which was fine, but I had the Dalmore Cigar Malt Reserve, which is really good. And I liked the heck out of that. So if you get a chance to have that, go for it. It's a good one. Is there any way the lawsuit negatively impacts Landau's career? I would doubt it impacts him in an appreciable way, although apparently the search results for the Landau Group or Kevin Landau are not what he desires them to be. And man, that's just unfortunate, isn't it? Lots of sympathy for me on that one, buddy. You know, so have that. I think Maddox should maybe talk about his experiences with Kevin Landau and see if that positively or negatively impacts his career. But he's not going to. Hostess or Tasty Cake? I'll go with Hostess. Even though they, you know, Hostess changed their cake recipe, I believe, after they went out of business and came back, or went bankrupt and came back. That was not good. Might not have been you. Okay, wait. Already read those. Favorite Polak joke? I don't have a specific one that's a favorite. Why don't you hit me with some and we'll see. See if you can find my favorite Polak joke. Specific Ocean, I don't remember the title of the video, but if you give me just a second, I'll find it. Almost there. Almost there. All right. It was... Okay, so it was May 29th. It was the emergency LoLsuit adjacent live stream. And I'll probably have a link for you in just a second. There's the link for you. Hopefully that comes through just fine. Do ethics complaints stay on your permanent record? They don't stay on mine because it was not investigated and it did not happen. So they found that there was no merit to the ethics complaint. So no, it will not stay on my permanent record. Rekieta timeline review episode. Are you asking me to do like a full timeline review of the lawsuit? Is that what you're going for? How many shekels to get you to drink Steel Reserve on stream? Steel Reserve, high gravity. I don't know. I have to see if I can get it anywhere in Minnesota. I'd try it out. What up, Jason Benaim? How's it going, buddy? Should I go back to the gun store next weekend and get yet another shotgun? Dude, I don't see what could be wrong with that plan. What would you do if you found out your ex of 2 years ago was sleeping with a friend? Well, if I had an ex from 2 years ago, Lady Rackets would probably beat me. But in the hypothetical where I would have not been married for 14 years, got the other one. Thank goodness. In that hypothetical, I mean, I guess I would wish them well. I don't, you don't own people. So I thought Maddox knew that, but you know. Favorite Polak joke. Remember that time the Nazis executed and or sent off all the Poland's intellectuals to death camps and then we make fun of them for being dumb? Hilarious stuff. Oh, that's kind of brutal. Larry Bernard. So, is Maddox too broke to keep employing a land whale as his attorney? I missed out on the latest nonsense with the lawsuit. Larry, I think so. I think that explains pretty much all of this. Maddox has probably been falling behind on his payments to Landau. Landau has an opportunity to get out. Maddox, in my theory, in my opinion, this is not a fact. This is a guess. Maddox calls Landau and says, "Look, buddy, I just can't pay you. I don't have any money, and I got nothing left. I got nothing left. So please go and please stop." Please don't make me pay for more of it. So that's my guess. Well, wait a minute. That's weird. So, that's crazy. Guns Beer Freedom. You sent a chat. Oh, this is my fault. Okay. Do you have any merch stickers I can flaunt in a shooting competition in a few months? I want to be a see you next Tuesday whore. Okay. I don't have merch. I really should get some. Maybe I can get something together for next month or for the time. Message me and then we'll see how many things you need, how many stickers you need, and I'll see what I can do. How did Hitler defeat Poland so easily? He marched in backwards and said he was leaving. Why does Asterios have to pay for sanctions against Greenberger? Because Greenberger is counsel for Asterios. That's how it goes. And the sanctions would be gathered in the course of representation. And so ostensibly, you're a representative of the client and the sanctions are against you unless the court decides that the sanctions should be against Greenberger and not against Asterios. That would be up to the court. But that's just the way it goes. What are the chances Landau doesn't try to squeeze some blood from that stone, though? What are the downsides for him going to the hearing without Maddox there? Well, I mean, there won't be a hearing. If the court approves this, they'll withdraw it without the hearing, and they'll just say, "No, it's good. You're gone." So I want a T-shirt with Nick's face while he's sneezing with the text "lawsplaining." Okay. My house is infested with mosquitoes just because when you open the door, we're surrounded by woods and a pond and grass. And when you open the door, mosquitoes come in. That's it. Larry Bernard. Also, if you were advising Donald Trump, who on his list of 25 would you recommend? And maybe could you hook up with Ethan Van Sciver to make a LoLsuit comic? Also, t-shirt merch, t-shirts rock. I have not reviewed Donald Trump's list of 25. The idea of picking justices as a normal human is really tough. To say what a justice will be like on the Supreme Court is not the easiest thing. People are often wrong. For example, I think it was Warren Burger who was appointed as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who was supposed to be a conservative, and he was one of the votes for Roe versus Wade, much to the chagrin of whoever appointed him. So, that's just how it goes. And Gorsuch did not vote Trump's way on a couple of lawsuits. So, it's hard enough for a president to determine what's a judicial opinion. The other problem with that is, okay, as a lower court judge, they're bound by what the Supreme Court says, right? So they have to use precedent. They have to use existing law to make their decisions. When they get to the Supreme Court, they get to start imposing their decisions upon the lower courts. So it changes the whole dynamic. So I can't really comment on who I would recommend. I would love Donald Trump to appoint Ted Cruz, because I think that would be the funniest choice. I think that would make people the most insane they could make it. I also think politically he would unite the Republican Party, and that would be an ultimately good move for him to do that. I don't think he will, but I think that'd be great. Is he on the list of 25? I haven't even looked at it. Let's see. Jason Benaim says, if this trial goes until October, will it have taken as long as the Nuremberg? It will have taken as long as the Nuremberg trials. Why is this S word taking so long to resolve? They all do. They all do, man. They take it forever. Let's see. Is stipulating and agreeing a bit redundant? Couldn't they just agree or stipulate? Is there advantages of doing both? It's redundant. No, there's no advantage. Specific Ocean, thank you very much. You don't have a comment attached, but if you do think of something, let me know, and I'll make sure to read it. You like my shirt? No sarcasm. Thanks, buddy. Here, I'll give you the full view. It's just an Ecuador soccer jersey, a cheap one. It's not like a good Nike official one or anything like that, but got it a couple years ago. Jock Shock is here to make everybody happy with all sorts of wit. Says that I lost, which I have lost nothing, friend. Specific Ocean meant to say, damn, you're a good person. Heart. Thank you, Specific Ocean. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. All right. So are there any more LoLsuit related questions? Or do you want me to talk about whatever else? I have a little bit of Google goss that I can share. I can share a little bit of Google goss from inside Google that is not released and not public, but I have to not dox the person who sent it to me. And I do have a new Google video coming out soon. I've got some more Supreme Court videos coming out. We've got a video about, let's see, what was it? Oh, Alex Jones versus Pepe is still going. So that also, that's happening. Yeah, Mick Beaumarchais, it is less spicy than you expect. I warned on Twitter, the answer may bore you. There's nothing to really say here. I still think Landau is a terrible attorney. I think he's a scumbag. I think Maddox, really should look into his conversations with him. But we're not in the room for those conversations. Maybe Maddox was driving everything. Hard to say. So until we get more info, I'm not going to sit here and just guess. That's just, there you go. If I make a Clay face shirt and a Nick face shirt, can we wear them together and maybe just for a minute hold hands? Sure, buddy. Only if I can wear the Clay shirt. Love your banter on Twitter. Thanks, Kenster. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was talking a little bit about that earlier. It's been a weird couple days on Twitter. I've got one guy really mad that he read the thing I wrote and decided it said something completely different. And then I got some dumb idiot with an anime avatar calling me a racist over and over again. And then I've got a PhD who basically admitted to a massive ethical violation of her own, saying that I am somehow being unethical. So it's just good times, man. Where'd you get those super light donuts when you were away on vacation? You showed them off on stream. Those are probably from either those are from Donut Palace in Tyler, Texas. Donut Palace is a local chain in Tyler. It was very good. You can get similar donuts at Shipley's all over Texas and pretty much all over the Southeast. I highly recommend them. Was the Google Goss sent on Gmail? No, it was not. If you don't have anything else and you're familiar, could you talk about USV Miller? USV Miller needs its own thing. My opinion on Jones versus Pepe is that I don't think Matt Fury has a good case against Alex Jones for copyright infringement. I really don't. And I did a long video on it. And I'll do an update because he has filed an amended complaint and a second amended complaint. And so that lawsuit is still going on. That second amendment complaint was filed 3 days ago. So he now, Alex Jones will have like another 20 days to respond or something like that. Nick, all I was saying is eat a pepper on stream. Oh, you want me to eat a pepper? Sure, I could do something spicy. Just give me a minute. Not sure whether to bless you or curse you. I needed a break from studying Towards 2 and K2. With Towards 2, I'm obviously familiar with Mithrin Emrys. What is K2? I'm racist? I thought I was a good person. Someone thinks I'm racist. I don't. You know. I like pretty much anybody. Well, except for dummies. But I'll give people the benefit of the doubt and let them become dummies before I dislike them. I got a jet. I'll rewatch stream later. Peace and take care. Later, Kenster, man. Have a good one. Sorry if I assumed your gender. Roe versus Wade video win. Oh, why do people want Roe versus Wade? So, shock. Roe versus Wade is not really important anymore. It's not the judicial standard for abortion rights. I mean, it sets the basic idea that there is some right to abortion and that the state also has a competing right to protect the life. But we don't use the Roe versus Wade standard anymore. We actually use Planned Parenthood versus Casey, which was 1992. And that is the much more important case than Roe v. Wade. So here's the neat thing. If you're pro-life, Roe v. Wade can be good law literally forever, and abortion can be illegal. So there you go. And for that matter, so could Planned Parenthood versus Casey, although we would probably need a supporting ruling to go along with that. But Planned Parenthood versus Casey is the more important case now. Everybody's stuck on saying Roe v. Wade. Man, that's a heavy topic. It takes a long time. Oh, contracts too. Ugh. Yuck. I am sorry. Give me the Google Goss or I have to use my new gun on myself. Ben, I will give you the Google Goss in just a second. I pulled it up on my phone. Ben Garrison says, Nick, red, black, or Jew, I won't counsel you, rackets. That's not true. I have clients of all shapes, colors, sizes, genders, ethnicities, and yeah. Let's go back. Who was it? It was a general of the Marine Corps. He said the Marines are green. And that's the only color I care about, right? Is green. Can you please pay me? Because I represent people and I hope they can pay me for that work. Sure, but it's the crux of this. Yeah, it is the crux of all of it. If you're talking about Roe versus Wade. Okay, so can you give us a prayer, whether silent or audible, for the loss of Tyler Jones? How long has it been, Clay, since Tyler died? Man. Lord, pray for Tyler Jones for me. What is it? Gosh, I'm a bad Catholic. I beseech you. Pray for us, right? Pray for Tyler Jones. May your blessings wash over him, both in this world and out of this world. and in the afterlife, carry him into your loving bosom, and never let his memory be forgotten. There you go. Best set of cans in the Bible has to be Jezebel, or not Jezebel. What's her face? Bathsheba, right? What's your opinion on banning pit bulls? I don't think it... God. Oh my God. Oh, I caught it and I let it go. No, no, I'm the judicial system. I don't think pit bulls should be banned. But people need to be careful with it. And then you need to hire Landau, I guess, if someone gets bit. Could you explain Planned Parenthood versus Casey? Yeah, the shortest... Oh, wait. Nick hates poor people. Ipso facto, he hates disproportionately black people and is racist. What is a disproportionately black person? Planned Parenthood versus Casey establishes the idea of fetal viability. Once a fetus is viable, the state's interest in keeping the baby alive supersedes the mother's interest in privacy and abortion. So, at the time of Planned Parenthood versus Casey, it was basically that states could impose restrictions on abortions as early as 24 weeks. That was fetal viability at the time. We have since, of course, pushed that down through science and medical technology, and it will continue to push down logically towards a time where babies can be born without a mother at all. But for now, fetal viability is somewhere around 20 weeks. So when you see states like North Dakota pass a heartbeat law where once there's a detectable heartbeat, abortion is no longer an option, that's because they're pushing the limits of fetal viability through Planned Parenthood versus Casey. That's the short version. A long version would take a whole video. Isn't it kind of a B to get a Supreme Court decision overturned? Not if it involves taxing online sales, apparently. You said you represent people of all genders. Do you represent any buildings? Not currently, Brandon, but I would love to, especially if that building is a bank. Just one FYX, do you break for queefs? I guess. Gunny Sergeant Rena Camel was the Marine who said that. Was it? No, there's... No, Andrew. Let me pull up who said it. Why do you make me do this? It was, General Chapman. General Chapman is the one who coined the expression, I believe. You think Supreme Court justices should resign whenever it's politically convenient? I think Supreme Court justices should resign. Actually, I think almost all of them should resign. But I think they should resign whenever they feel like it. Let's see. You let one slip away. There goes your perfect record. What's worse, judges or mosquitoes? Judges. Mosquitoes have really inconsequential outcomes. Why the F lawyers so expensive? Lots of reasons. One, we have lots of debt from law school. Got him. Lots of debt from law school. We have to pay lots of people. And then, we're not always... you're not getting paid constantly. Like, you get paid in spurts. So it costs a lot of money because you have to do a lot of work outside of your billable hours. So, Tyler Jones is Fig Bad of the Week. They have Facebook in heaven, guys. Heaven is real. Darkest Dungeon expansion includes a slew of mosquito enemies, so look forward to that. Yes, I will be streaming Darkest Dungeon soon. I have gotten it installed. Thank you very much. Thinks malaria in Africa is inconsequential. Did you see Super Chad down in Portland? Superman punching the queer out of Antifa. I saw a guy lay out a dude who had an asp baton. And he blocked a couple with his forearm like a manly man, and then just threw a devastating right, if that's what you're talking about. And that was refreshing. Can confirm the lots of debts from law school. Just signed for my loans for the next year. This is for you, Mithrin Emrys. May your career be profitable enough to pay for your debts. MGTOWs have caused more abortions than Planned Parenthood. Oh, okay. So, racism update. Racism update. I was visited by my very good friend. My very good friend came to visit, brought his daughter. She was playing with my kids while we got to hang out. Very old friend of mine. You may know him as you have seen his visage in a controversial photo of me. But he did visit me over the 4th of July weekend, and we had a very good time. And I think I will have a video at some point in the near future with me and him. I really, really want to live stream because there are some people I would love to invite onto that show. Man, I would love them to ask him some questions. So that is my good friend, and yeah, it will be excellent when I can get him on stream. I think you guys will love him. Frankly, he's very, very fun. Good guy. We've been friends for decades, and he is also my Battletoads partner. He and I have beaten Battletoads 2-player together. You can search on Twitter. I posted a picture of me and him from yesterday, just today. So if you really want to take a look at that picture, go ahead. But that is my Battletoads playing partner and longtime friend and part-time college roommate. But we were friends long before that, so I'll double my Patreon if you wear the costume. Maybe I can get him to dress up as me and I'll dress up as him. That would be fun. And Sean Thompson, not really to prove to you guys how I'm really not racist, because having a black friend doesn't make you not racist. Not at all. Lots of people with black friends are still racist. Absolutely. And, you know, like, there's not like a defense. I don't think I'm racist, but other people might. That's fine. I don't care. They can also keep tweeting the professional association that I'm not in and telling them that they gave me a license while I'm a racist. That is really working out well for you guys. He's not too urban, right? I don't know. Depends what time of day it is, I guess. Battletoads partners are for life, not for Christmas. Absolutely. So you're finally admitting to being racist, black friend or not. Like I said, I'll let people be the judge of my racism. That's fine. Bro, I'm like extremely racist. Please invite me. Okay. Nick's black friend is his beard. All right, guys. Yeah, Battletoads is awesome. Although we had an abysmal showing yesterday. We did not get past... Okay, I've got beef. I've got beef with Battletoads. The glitches make the game. And we were on the intruder excluder, the elevator shaft, if you are aware. And we got up to Robomanus. More appropriately, my friend got one platform higher to Robomanus. And so he got launched up. And normally it will bring the second player up with the first player to arrive. And it will bring them up to the Robomanus platform. And then you both fight him. However, it left me off screen. And then I just chain died with no ability to get out of it until I lost all my lives and it stopped the fight. So that was great. That was great. Thank you very much, Intruder Excluder, for not having us to shamefully attempt the rat race. Is he playing that on his Twitch? I will unironically watch Twitch if he beats that game on it. Rekieta Law. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I need the adapter to play Battletoads on Twitch, because I'm not going to play Battletoads with some cheesy emulator. No. Using actual Nintendos and actual controllers. Can you be racist and still think Black Panther is the best movie of all time? Yeah, I guess. Can I be your token ethnic friend? I identify as whatever gives me the most scholarships. Guys, we have Elizabeth Warren here on stream. Such a 4chaner. Yes. Zitz, Pimple, and Pepe. I'm seriously racist and anti-Semitic. I'd love to have a conversation with your racism vaccine. Okay. We'll see. Like I said, if I can get him on stream, I think that would be a fun time. But I have to visit him. We have to both have time to do something like that. Is Landau ditching Maddox and not mental jest, or is he shedding the whole affair? I think he's shedding the whole affair. I think that's just a typographical or clerical error, and Jess is supposed to be included in the withdrawal. It's possible she's not, but I think she's supposed to be included. Oh, here I am not talking about the Google Goss. Just a second. Specific Ocean. No, that's the problem. Emulators are too good. And it's not the same if you're not up against the time crunch of your Nintendo overheating after playing for 2 hours and glitching up in the middle of like a boss fight. That's the real Nintendo experience that I'm talking about. I'm a Sephardic Jew, aka Black Jew. I'll be your friend, Rekieta Law. Well, I will be your friend too. And you don't even need to be a Jew or Black Jew for me to be your friend. But I will be your friend no matter what. Honestly, like I am... Guys, let me briefly talk about this. I grew up in Houston, Texas, for the first 10 years of my life. So I'm not claiming my entire childhood was in Houston. First 10 years in Houston, Texas. And if you're familiar with Houston at all, I was in the northeast area of Houston, in the city limits. Let's see, I was between a neighborhood called Inwood Forest and a neighborhood called Acres Homes, which means I would have gone to Eisenhower High School. And if you know anything, so this is the intersection of Gulf Bank, West Gulf Bank, and Little York is really near to my house. So I'm laying this out for people who are familiar with Houston. If you know that area of Houston, back in the 80s, Acres Homes was one of the worst neighborhoods in that city. And it is not an upper class area at all. The neighborhood I was in specifically was Inwood Forest Village, and not upper class at all, and certainly very, very racially diverse. In fact, I would suggest that at Stovall Elementary, where I attended 3rd and 4th grade, that I was probably in the minority. So let me lay this out real quick. Just for anyone who doesn't understand, like, I have been the minority in the room, and I have been scared because of my race, and I have been scared because people who did not look like me as a child were causing commotions on an elementary school bus that would have the police come on them. Okay. So I did not grow up in the best place. I did not grow up in some like whitewashed neighborhood or anything like that. And, I had friends literally of any race. I just don't care. I've never, it's never bothered me. So, I did not, and then we moved to Minnesota, where just about everybody was white. And it was interesting to see the racism play out in a completely different way than it does in the South. So, that's fine. Just tuned in, you rocking a Chris Chan shirt. No, this is an Ecuador soccer jersey, Gats. Let's see. Speaking of Black Jews, I need that Google Goss. There's some poop you can add that emulates corruption. You'd have to Google it, but you can simulate your N64 going out. That's good. Let's not forget the 20 minutes of trying to position the cartridge just right to get it to play in the first place. Right. And blowing into the cartridge. You got to blow into the cartridge. Did you hear that Trump offered Elizabeth Warren $1 million to do a charity of her choice if she takes an authenticated DNA test to prove she's a Native American? That's fantastic. Having friends of any race is white privileged and racist. Good. Good. I'll take that privilege any day. Just saw the top. Looks like a Sonichu shirt. No, but now I want one. Now I want a Sonichu shirt. Okay. Let me talk some Google Goss here, guys. Let me talk some Google Goss. This is sent to me from a software engineer in Google, and I will not reveal their name. Okay? Let's see. This is a terrible cord. Let me skim this real quick and make sure I can edit out any identifying information. Gunsbeer Freedom 87 says, here's $5. Well, thank you, my friend. Let's see. The corruption is really actually good at simulating. I'm just a white dude, but I'm married to a black woman. You got any of those types of friends? Let's see. Not a white guy married to a black woman. Most of my friends aren't married. No, I don't have any married interracial couple close friends, but I do have a Mexican friend who is engaged to a white woman. So, you know, there's that. Does that count? Okay. Let me blitz through this real quick so I can make sure and give you guys this information. All right, so first question, do you guys know what Project Maven is from Google? Don't say Google engineer, say mid-level manager. Who's the blackest Jew and the Jewest black? I don't know. Corruption is actually pretty good at emulating cartridge tilting. That's fantastic. Let's see. Seriously. Anyway, guys. Do you guys know what Project Maven is? Gotta love this racist chat. Really makes you think. Does it make you think? I guess. The guy that won the first WWE Tough Enough. Okay, so Project Maven. Let me Google it so I make sure. No, I'm gonna Bing it because they'll tell me the truth. Project Maven was okay, so Project Maven was Google AI algorithms for the United States government to be used in wartime, to be used as a military tool. Okay, so that's what Project Maven was. It was Google partnering with the Department of Defense to create some AI tools for the Department of Defense. Once it was classified or top secret or something. It was secret at some point. It was leaked not too long ago. And then everybody lost their minds, right? Who's your source at Google? Yeah, no. Of course, I'm not going to say. An AI program Google was developing in concert with the Pentagon. Perfect. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so that's Project Maven. So, this is from, let's see. This is an unofficial opinion today from one of the higher ups at Google who is in Project Maven. I don't know if he is in Project Maven or was in Project Maven. I can't, I don't actually know the answer to that. So, you know, take this for what you will. This is an unofficial opinion. Let's see. More precisely, the team was diverted to participate in Project Maven. So he was not a willing participant, but his team was moved over there. And let's see. He said, now this is the Project Maven person. Based on his discussions with Google security and his own thinking, that the same group inside Google is responsible for leaking Damore's memo, as is for leaking Maven. And this is an interesting quote. It's an organized group inside Google of right-wing neo-Nazis who intentionally leak information which damages Google's public image and forces Google to take difficult decisions. So this person's unofficial opinion is that it is the alt-right inside Google leaking stuff to cause Google to look bad. So they're leaking stuff like the Damore memo, even though presumably Damore is an alt-right representative and the alt-right would love him. They are leaking stuff to cause damage to Google. That's what's been claimed. So take that as you will. This person seems to give that person some credibility. But, you know, I'm just relaying what is told to me. But the goal of the alt-right inside Google is to apparently destroy the liberal culture that Google has. So, you know, it's like it's a whatchamacallit, a black ops sort of thing where they're supposedly sabotaging their own side to cause damage to the other side. So there you go. There's some Google goss as far as that goes. The Google goss on actual Google documents that I can talk about is coming up in just a second. So I'm not going to go through this entire document right now because it's 12 pages and it'll take like an hour. But let's talk about this for just a second. Yeah, false flag operation. That's what I was looking for. Thank you very much, Daryl Remington. That's what I was. Yeah, so it's a false flag operation. So Gatsgat says Racket's got a deep throat from Google, has a deep throat in Google. Gave deep throat to Google. He's getting some Google Play. Thank you, Gatsgats. Always appreciated. Always appreciated. So, and I have no idea what the political affiliation of the Project Maven person is. But, you know, they have said that it is a far-right element inside Google. So take that for what you will. That is my secret inside info. But of course, Google did have a diversity report come out recently. And if you know anything about it, the representation... So Google has made a pointed effort, of course, to increase representation amongst several groups, specifically not white and Asians, according to James Damore's lawsuit, right? So they're trying to get representation in every group that is not white male or Asian male. Basically, the results of that, apparently, are that nothing has really changed as far as representation, except that whites are demographically underrepresented now, and Asians are so far overrepresented that everybody except white is underrepresented. So there you go. Or no, wait, everybody except Asian is underrepresented, including whites. However, I don't expect to see Google attempting to hire more white people specifically anytime soon. One, pragmatically, that would be an instant lawsuit. But two, you know, that doesn't seem to fit their culture. But yeah, so there's the Google goss I have. Now I do have this document. So there's been some back and forth right now going on in the Google lawsuit over the privacy of the documents and the privacy of the people in the documents. So Google has requested that the courts, that the courts redact the names, or the courts force the other party basically to redact the names of anyone they mention in the lawsuit. Because apparently the opinions that these people have posted on the Google internal forums that were then leaked in the Google lawsuit documents led to them being harassed for their views. And interestingly enough, these people who work at Google don't like being harassed for views that other people don't like. Let that sink in for a minute. The idiots at Google who are complaining about other people's opinion and harassing them don't like being harassed for their opinions. Because it's a magical world, right? It's a magical world where reality doesn't exist, just fake outrage on social media. Where people, the consequences to real people be damned. They just go out onto social media and spew their dumbness all over the earth in an attempt to get other people in trouble for opinions that they perceive that the other person might not even have. But and then when someone says, "Hey, this person's a walking giant idiot," who and here's their opinion, they don't like that. It's almost like irony. Well, they have the right opinion, though. Yes, and isn't that the funniest thing? People calling people out for others' opinions. They always have the right opinion, don't they? You know what? That glass of Crown was really good. So, Soban, when you see this or hear this, whatever it may be, buddy, thank you very much for the crown. When I get down to your neck of the woods, and I'm guessing I will sometime before too long, and specifically next year, I'll be in Texas quite a bit. We will have to hang out at a little less public and a little less hot of an event. Oh my goodness. My opinion is incorrect. My option is incorrect? What option? Is it option or opinion? Calling people idiots is racist. Okay, so let me just... I skimmed through this earlier. But listen to how salty this document is, because this is funny. This is funny to me. Okay. Mithrin Emrys says, it is exposing hate and evil when they do it, but bullying and intolerance when it happens to them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nail on the head on that one. Those Twitter warriors are so strong. I would love to... Wouldn't you love, okay, real talk, non-violent, this isn't a violent talk. Wouldn't you love to meet some of these people? Like the outrage peddlers. I would just love it. I would just love it. I would love to sit down and have a drink. I'd buy him a drink and just have a chat and talk about things. Because when you're not behind an anonymous moniker, you're just not as threatening. It's kind of interesting. Also, half of them can barely stand up, but there's that too, I guess. Well, you can get violent all you want, my friend. But I don't want to be misunderstood as saying I want to meet these people and enact violence upon them, because some people take me calling out facts and reading public documents and saying that is somehow a threat or something like that. So certainly if I say I would love to meet these people in person, they will infer that I mean violence. And I'm not a violent person. I'll defend myself, absolutely, but I have no interest in starting violence with anybody. I've got 5 kids. I don't have time for the trouble that brings. No, but I would love to meet them and just have a conversation, because I like to talk to people. I peddle outrage as much as possible. Ask me how I save 25% on auto insurance by switching my gender. Oh my goodness. If a woman is consistently ironic over and over again, does that make her an irony maiden? Yes. Mithrin Emrys says, I go to class with several of them. I just roll my eyes and wonder how they made it into law school with their tortured logic. Mithrin, I will say that the day I got into law school was the day I was a little less proud of getting accepted into law school. I felt a little less special because, you know, I talked to I talked to some of the people who were at the school, and I found out that pretty average people. You know, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Yeah. No more heroes once you get to graduate school, I hope. I hope. People should stop having heroes. Brandon B., I want to meet these people and enact violence, says Nick Rackets. Thank you. All right, let me read this. Let me read this real quick. And I'm going to do, before anybody whines to me about like this thing, I'm going to do a video on this document that is separate from this. This is just because I'm relaxing with a live stream with you guys, which is always fun for me. And so this is just a little teaser or bonus to it. So don't get mad if things are taking too long. If you want the Google Goss, video is coming out in a couple days at most. I will go through it, or I'll live stream it tomorrow in earnest or something. Oh, excuse me. But so don't whine at me about this. If you don't want to listen to the delays and the chat interaction, and you want to hear this Google document, a separate dedicated video is coming. That'll be very streamlined for you. So I, trying to provide the content that everybody likes, but the live streams they're a fun joy for me and hopefully for you guys. And plus, where else can I be called racist by a giant dummy than in my own live chat? Where else can that happen? I don't know. I guess on Twitter probably, but Rackets has spoken. We must attack Landau. It has been so ordered. All right. So this is the Google document. This is on behalf of the defendants in the case, which is Google LLC, a Delaware a limited liability company, and Does 1 through 10. All right. So here's the intro. And again, see if you can taste the salt. This putative class action was filed by James Damore, the former Google employee who drafted and circulated within Google a memo contending that women are inherently less qualified for and less interested in technology jobs and leadership positions because of their gender. Listen to that. Listen to that. Not at all what James Damore said in his memo, but listen to how this gigantic cuck of a lawyer frames it. Are you going to try and make Atlanta road rage? The date was just announced, and it's not very far from now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I would love to. I would love to be there, but I'm not sure if I can. I will let you know. I'll let you know. Do you suggest we use fire bombs on Landau? No. No, I don't. Don't suggest firebombing anybody. Always advocate nonviolence. Let's see. Okay, so yeah. On the internet, Damore's memo went viral. From leaks inside of Google with people being mad about it. Damore didn't make his Damore did not make his memo public or viral. That was entirely the communists, and I don't care what the other guy said. I mean, maybe it was the alt-right, but it sure looks like it was the commies who leaked portions of it to Kotaku. So there you go. Isn't the Google lawyer's job to distort the facts and support his cut clients? No, that's not any lawyer's job to distort facts. It is their job to relay facts, and blatantly misrepresenting Damore's memo is really, it's a frustrating thing. What's up, Jaeger Mitchell? I see you, girl. How can we get anything done if we don't use violence? I didn't say that you can get things done without using violence. I just don't advocate violence. What is that? What is that? Let me do a movie quote, a series of movie quotes. My mom, or wait, let's see. Voting is force, right? And force, my friends, is violence. And oh man, I'm missing Michael Ironside's line. Force, my friend, is violence. And then what does Cameron Diaz say? My mom always said violence never solved anything. Michael Ironside with a stern look. I wonder what the founding fathers of Hiroshima would say about that. And then in comes Dizzy Flores, the cool chick. They probably wouldn't say anything. They're all dead. Right. Violence has solved more conflicts and problems than anything else in history, right? La-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da. Jaeger buddy, I missed me in Dallas, but I had gotten back just a couple days prior to the Dallas road rage, so I could not come back to Minnesota and get back down to Texas. We would not have had babysitters for our kids, and it just wouldn't have worked out. But I might be able to swing Atlanta. I don't know. I haven't talked to Lady Rackets about it. So here we go. Let's get back to this thing. Damore and his co-plaintiffs now purport to bring class claims. Footnote. Damore and several other of his co-plaintiffs in this case signed arbitration agreements, which included an express waiver of their right to bring class claims. They and their counsel knew this well in advance of filing the complaint, but they filed it anyway. Google will move to enforce their arbitration agreements once the stay is lifted. But I don't think arbitration agreements apply when we have allegations of racial discrimination, because that would be an unconscionable arbitration clause if you were unable to file for federally protected rights. So I don't think Google's motion is going to survive the prima facie case of racial discrimination. I just don't. But maybe it will. Maybe it'll win. Who knows? But an arbitration clause cannot take away a federally protected right. I don't believe. Okay. So, claims against Google for political discrimination on behalf of conservatives, thus far an undefined term, gender discrimination on behalf of men, and race discrimination on behalf of Caucasians. Those legal claims will fail once litigation gets underway. Well, that's great. Maybe we could get that litigation underway. Why don't we have discovery on that, Google? But it is the other material that Damore has included in his complaint and the ensuing results that warrant this court's action now. Damore and his counsel chose to pack the original complaint and first amended complaint, of which I have a copy, by the way. It is now sealed, with more than 100 pages of detail about the identities, internal communications, and contact information of individual Google employees who Damore has labeled as liberals and anti-conservative. Yet none of these individuals is a party to this case. That's not true. There are 1 to 10 does, and any one of those people could be a party to this case. We need discovery first. So that's not a true statement. You liar. Silly lawyers. Lawyers and their lying. None of them ever imagined that their full names, email addresses, and internal workplace communications would be spread across the internet as part of the publicity surrounding this lawsuit. Really? That is a lie too, because you know that Google's corporate inside counsel has advised every new hire, and I promise you, every new hire has been advised that anything they send in internal communications may be subject to discovery in a lawsuit. I can almost guarantee it, because every corporation I've worked for has had that exact same language. Is it legal for lawyers to lie? No, not really. They have Google for the internet now. But yeah, anyone out there any of you guys who works in a corporation, were you trained specifically, like, and I don't mean like a little like mom and pop shop. I mean a corporation with maybe 500 to 1,000 employees or more. weren't you trained specifically that everything you say in an internal communication that's logged might be subject to discovery? Because I worked for smaller corporation. Well, Wells Fargo is a big corporation that I worked for, and Thrivent was a corporation I worked for. Thrivent is not the biggest, maybe 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000 employees, something like that. But we're talking like they literally, everything you say might be subject to discovery in a lawsuit. So you got to be careful what you put down on paper. Your ethics board is going to take Google's complaint way more seriously than the drunk dog bite lawyer. No, they just warn you on every login screen. Yeah. I would love, man, if I could get a hand on a Google employee handbook, that would be great. If any Google employees out there, even if you want to just send me an excerpt of the section on watching what you say on the recorded internal forums because they may be subject to discovery, if you want to just give me that section, that would be great. And if they don't have one, Google, I would love to work as a consultant for you on fixing your employee handbook. Happy to fix you. I work for a big production company, rhymes with universal, begins with U. They don't tell you anything, but Lord help you if you think they wouldn't use it against you. I mean, maybe they don't. I would be shocked. Okay. And certainly none of them ever expected to be taunted, harassed, and bullied online by unknown strangers as a result of their internal conversations, despite the fact that many of them bully, harass, and taunt people online as a result of those internal conversations. Wow. Disgusting. This is the hypocrisy that just burns me up in all of this stuff. Indeed, the details Damore provides about these unwitting participants are wholly unnecessary to the pleading of his claims, and can serve only one purpose in such a high-profile case: to thrust these individuals into the public spotlight as easy fodder for Damore supporters to pounce upon online. No, I can think of one other to show that there's a culture that has specifically targeted and ostracized conservatives. That's the point of including it. And not only that, to have management hiring managers on file with their own stupid names next to their stupid pictures saying, I will blacklist conservatives and white males. Like, why would they want that in a lawsuit about blacklisting conservatives and white males? I don't know. I don't know why they would want that. Must just be to cause these people to be harassed. Maybe I'll stream the 100 pages of doxing tomorrow. Maybe that's what I'll do. And that is precisely what happened. Google employees mentioned in the complaint received threats and taunts on their personal social networking accounts. Oh man, including death threats. Isn't it always a death threat? It always is, right? Vicious, hateful comments and calls for members of the public to hunt down these employees' addresses and go to their homes. Even more disturbingly, some members of this anonymous online Damore support group are advocating gun violence, not just against Google employees mentioned in the complaint, but against all Googlers as a whole, which would presumably include the Damore and his compatriots that, I guess were Googlers, are Googlers, the ones who are still there silently, that they definitely want to shoot them too. How can Google lawyers be this bad? Or is this 4D lawyering? No great streams tomorrow. I'll be in Banff. Oh, buddy. Banff is beautiful. What are you doing up there? Like, are you up there for vacation? I'll go on while I wait for your answer. In the wake of recent shooting at Google's YouTube office, that lady was not a Damore. Oh my gosh. Let's hold on. Yeah. Let me see. Let's talk. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. So Brandon B says, don't they need to cite specific examples if they claim threats of violence? Let's look at the specific example, because here it is. Here's their link. I'm going to read. Sorry, I'm not going to pull this up for you guys because it's a pain. A woman opened fire at YouTube's California headquarters Tuesday afternoon before turning the gun on herself, authorities said. 3 other people were shot, one of whom was in critical condition. San Bruno police identified the woman Tuesday night as Nasim Najafi Agdam, 38, of San Diego. Law enforcement sources said she used a 9mm handgun. Police said Tuesday night they have not found any evidence the shooter knew the victims, but continue to investigate a motive. Agdam claimed on her social media accounts that YouTube was discriminating against her videos, many of which focused on animal rights and veganism, mixed with bizarre musical parodies. Guys, this is their evidence. The evidence. Dude, I live in Alberta. I'm always in the mountains. I'm going kayaking and whitewater rafting. Hopefully Haley doesn't force me to climb a mountain at Rekieta Law. The only, the reason I asked, the only Canadaing I've ever done was in Banff. It was beautiful. We went to Emerald Lake, the other lake. We didn't go to the third lake, which is like a pretty decent hike, and I had really little children back then. But we spent some time in some hot springs. Gorgeous country. Gorgeous country. I'm very jealous. Okay, so this animal rights activist and veganism, obviously a paragon with a I don't even know how to say it. Obviously a paragon of alt-right virtues. You know, that's great. Just great. Great stuff. Damore and his counsel cannot legitimately claim to be surprised by these attacks. Note they mention a singular attack and then say they can't be surprised by these attacks. I'm guessing they actually mean more than just the shooting attack. But, only everybody was surprised about that attack from the vegan animal rights activist who walked into YouTube's offices and started shooting. And I think specifically said it had to do with YouTube's monetization policies, not because some alt-right activists on 4chan told her to go shoot people. But, So next time you come in, let me know. I'll show you around. It's a deal, buddy. It's a deal. Damore and his counsel... Okay, so... Sorry. After all, they chose to redact the identities of Google employees who share Damore's conservative political views. Hey, let's take a thought exercise here. If the idea is that Google is firing people for having conservative political views, you're protecting them from Google. From Google, you idiots. Ugh. Leaving exposed only the individuals who supposedly do not, because they don't have unfriendly views and aren't at risk of being terminated for their opinions. That's only conservatives, according to this lawsuit. Like, this is a logical thing for them to do. You know how I know the woman is not a conservative? She couldn't shoot. Oh, brutal. Did Damore actually do any of these things, or was it his advocates? Damore didn't do anything. Damore's counsel released the names in the documents. So that's what Damore did through his counsel. Okay. Moreover, Damore and his counsel have refused to agree to any redactions of the names of the so-called liberal employees, even after Google shared with Damore's counsel copies of several threatening messages that employees received soon after the first amended complaint was filed. Oh, man. That's just a shame, isn't it? That they didn't agree to do what you asked. There can be no dispute that this case has garnered significant media attention. And to the extent individuals are using the court's files to obtain employees' names and contact information for purposes of harassment and other threatening behavior, it needs to stop. Wait. Grammatically, that's a strange sentence. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I can't make heads or tails of what they're saying there. That's a bad sentence for a legal document, guys. That's an okay sentence for a high school paper. based on the events following the filing of the original complaint and first amended complaint, allowing plaintiffs to repeat this process of disclosing personally identifiable information in future filings is likely to result in additional threats to and targeting of Google employees and unduly jeopardize their safety and security. By this motion, Google requests a protective order prohibiting Damore and his co-plaintiffs from including unredacted names or otherwise identifying information about Google employees in future publicly available filings. While the damage caused by the current filings is already done, this court can prevent further transgressions against Google employees by prohibiting public disclosures of Google employee names going forward, by requiring the redaction of third-party names, contact, and other identifiable information from all future filings. This will, at the very least, prevent would-be harassers from easily locating that information through the court's own docket. Entering a protective order that bars plaintiffs from making future filings that place in the public record the names, contact information, or otherwise identifying information about non-party Google employees is a narrowly tailored solution. There's no less restrictive means to prevent use of the court's docket for future targeting and threatening behavior. Let me talk about that last sentence there. So this is what's called strict scrutiny. This is a Supreme Court standard for the infringing of an enumerated right, specifically a First Amendment right. So when a court or any government actor is looking to infringe upon your enumerated rights, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, blah, 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 all freedom of the press, everything and so on, they must do it using the least restrictive means test. That means it has to be the least restrictive means to achieve a compelling government interest, and it has to be narrowly tailored to achieve that compelling government interest. Okay, so what their argument by invoking that is saying that the compelling government interest is protecting the identities of non-parties to a lawsuit, and that the least restrictive means to achieve that compelling government interest is to, and the most narrowly tailored solution is to redact their names from future documents, to order the redaction of names. Now, that has to compete with the public's right to know the info in public lawsuits. Will the court do it? Probably. I think they're going to. But Buff G Bob is absolutely right. The whole angle here is to limit the exposure of Google during discovery. And that's it. They want to mitigate the damage. They want to disavow the comments without having to disavow the people. They don't want people who say that conservatives shouldn't be hired or promoted to be questioned on why they're not fired or why they are promoted or why they continue to say the same things. They don't want people linking up the fact that people spend either their entire day championing SJW virtue signaling on both Twitter and Google's internal documents. They don't want that. They don't want people to see that Google has literally created a culture that is opposed to conservatives. They don't want that because that would be a poor public image for Google. So they're going to limit it. That's the reality. And the court will probably go with it. I am interested to see Dylan. Dylan is the lawyer for James Damore. I'm interested to see their counter to it. But I'm not going to go through the relevant facts today. Maybe this will be tomorrow's live stream. I haven't decided, but I think it would be fun. And when I say tomorrow's live stream, let's remember that I also mean the first amended complaint's entire doxing section. Let's just go through and put it out there because I have the freedom of press. I legally and legitimately obtained a copy of the first amended complaint. It was not provided to me by a plaintiff or anyone on the plaintiff's side. I got it legitimately, and I will report on it. And I can read every single word of it, including the names of everyone involved. Because it's interesting how tough they are when they think that their names aren't going to be out there, and how willing they are to gang up on people whose names are out there. It's pretty interesting when they are posting, the bar registration of certain internet attorneys on their internal documents, questioning their licensures, considering threatening ethics violations against said attorneys. It'll be interesting to have the tables turned, won't it? To have those people's names read right on camera, fully protected by the First Amendment. As a Khajiit, can I sue Nords in Skyrim for refusing my entry into their cities? Isn't that government-imposed discrimination? Yes to both of those. Phew, made it to the stream. Hey, Rekieta Law. What's up, Sevrage? Gats, I did not get it from Deep Throat. I saw this sucker on the docket, and I downloaded it from the court itself prior to the motion to suppress and the temporary restraining order. The great doxing of 2018. We'll see. Oh, and for the record, anyone out there on Twitter who's very proud of finding my bar registration number, let me read it for you. I don't remember what it is. This is public documents, you dummy. It's public info. You're not smart or cool just because you can have my lawyer registration number. It's on every document I file, you idiots. Where is it? Uh-oh, I'm not a lawyer. Here we go. 0397061. That'll save you the trouble of going to the Minnesota lawyer registration site and looking me up. It's right there. I don't care that you have it. I don't violate the ethics rules or the rules of professional conduct. Shockingly, I'm an ethical attorney. Who knew? But, you know, if you want to threaten me on Twitter, Rachel, post, you stupid idiot, the worst PhD in history. If you want to threaten that you have my bar number, I just gave it to you. You're not special. But you probably should be careful, because if I recall right, there's a tweet with your name on it, and I'm pretty sure it's screenshotted somewhere, that says that you, as a nurse practitioner, were threatening to look up the social security information and health identifying information of various individuals who you didn't like on Twitter through software at the hospital where you work. Pretty sure that's a massive ethics violation and a breach of just about every privacy law there is involving healthcare. So let's be clear on who should be talking about this and who shouldn't. Okay? Let's not sling around ethics accusations, shall we? But if you want my bar number, I just read it to you. You can have it. Enjoy it. It'll do you great. Let's see. Questions. Fishmonster123 says, if Asterios and Munoz refuse to drop sanctions, does that mean Landau is not allowed to leave as Maddox's lawyer? Probably. Or he'll have to defend himself in sanctions, and Maddox will have to defend himself in sanctions. One of those two. Zephael says, I wouldn't go the road of don't care if you have it. Well, I mean, it's a public number. If you go to the Minnesota licensing website, you can just type in Nicholas Rekieta, and it will show you that number. They've already done it. And like I said, it's on every document that I file. It's public. I have no shame in that number. Let's see. Is Rachel Post a worse PhD than Sean Hannity? Is Sean Hannity a PhD? I drank a whole tall boy at some point between us discussing black Jews, and now I am currently under a nice buzz. Please continue crapping on Google. Brandon B knows how to make a proper... Nick Rekieta Law knows how to make a proper threat. These little internet warriors are so funny. They're so funny because it's like, guys, it's just opinions online. Get over it. Get over it. Sean has 3 degrees. I'm not sure PhD-wise, though. I don't think he's got a PhD in anything. Is Rachel Post the same one you can reach at 867-5309? No! Gats, you made me dox her on stream. Speaking of terrible PhDs, have you heard of Real Peer Review? They cover all the ridiculous feminist dance theory papers that get covered. Oh, no, that sounds great. What's the moral situation of hooking up with a married broad, asking for a friend? Don't do it. That's the moral situation. Don't hook up with a married chick. Guys, like my personal opinion is that if someone is married, you should not hook up with them until they are divorced. That's my opinion. And that is not just a moral opinion. That is a protect yourself opinion as well. Because, sometimes people will hook up with married people who are in the process of getting divorced or say they're getting divorced or they're having rocky times. And then they go back to their spouse and just leave you in the wind because, they fixed things. And it's better to go back to where they were. And a lot of people get hurt from that. So strong suggestion not to do that. Zephael says, yeah, I know that, but if they spend some money, they could dox a lot of stuff, which could suck. Credit card numbers, SSN, address, license plates, kids' SSNs, relatives, etc. It would suck. Well, I mean, if they've already got my bar number, that's what they're going to do either way. But no, I would obviously care about them violating the law and doing that stuff. But my bar registration number is a public number. So the wikis say no degrees for Sean Hannity. Oh man, not even 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon or whatever. Mirror on mirror, my advice remains even if they're separated. I just think you should get the permanent solution before you move in for that. Protect yourself. I hook up with married people all the time. I'm not married to them. It's not unethical. It's just a risk of me getting beat. That's on you, buddy. Up to you. Anything goes. Maddox summary. Maddox has agreed to let Landau stop being his attorney, and Landau has agreed to not charge Maddox any more money. Kiwi Farms, doxing doesn't do anything. Just buy a gun and Trayvon Martin anyone who actually F's with you. Oh, man. Kiwi Farms, brutal and pithy at the same time. I love it, my friend. Welcome to the stream, buddy. If one of your children was black, would you love them equally to your white kids? Well, I guess that would be an interesting genetic that'd be an interesting genetic bit of gymnastics. Gats, do you think the fact that Google hates you is why I don't ever get notifications when you go live, even though I have the bell icon on? Maybe, but maybe they hate you. I'm not sure. Ketgo, only way to prove if you're a racist or not. Here, the more appropriate question is would I adopt a baby who isn't white? Sure, absolutely. And would I love that baby as much as my other kids? Sure, absolutely. If we were going to do adoption. I don't know. We've talked about it. I don't know if we're actually doing it at any point in the future, but it's not off of our radar. Because, is 5 kids enough? Is it really enough? Because of the anthrax. Man, that was a joke. They need to lighten up. Maybe. Don't know about that answer. Would you love your actual black son or your wife's white kids better? Cats, can you adopt me? I don't think I can adopt Canadians. Chinese girls are cheaper. Aw, man. Don't become like 19 and counting. No. That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids. My wife is all about adopting, but I figure if she wants more children, I can provide her the goods. Adoption is it takes a very special kind of person to adopt. It really does. It really does. There's a lot of hurdles, and it's very expensive. 5 kids is more than enough. Don't tell me what to do, Clay's roommate. Listen to Eisenhorn Xenos at work. Oh, yeah. How'd you like that? That's a good one, man. The Eisenhorn books are great. My parents adopted a Chinese girl. It's not cheap. Lol. What if Maddox was your kid? Well, I wouldn't be mad, but I would be disappointed. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. So, guys, it is, we're almost 2 hours in. I think it's a good time to wrap the stream up for tonight. Please, of course, join me tomorrow for all sorts of live stream antics. Maybe I will just live stream the Google documents, including all of the names of everybody and what they said, because they said it, right? Stand by it. Stand by what you say. Tanu Bojangles, I work IT in the healthcare industry. We spend a lot of money making sure personal health information is safe. Only a fake nurse wouldn't know this. Oh, no, I know she, I'm sure she thinks it's safe. I think the idea was that she would access that information, using her nurse credentials inappropriately. I think she was just going ahead and threatening something massively illegal and unethical. So let's see. Have you speculated on what happens to Maddox now? Is he just going to beg courts to let him go? Kiwi, yeah. I suspect that Maddox is hoping the courts will grant this stipulation and he will be out of it, because I suspect that Maddox is out of money. Out of money. That's my suspicion. I mentioned this earlier, but I'm guessing you are not in the stream yet. But my suspicion is that when Landau threatened to, or asked the court for permission to withdraw, and maybe Maddox watched my video and had me say, Maddox, don't do this. Don't let him get away with this because he's trying to hose you over. Or maybe he just had the good sense to see that for himself. I don't know. Or maybe he talked to competent counsel. Not sure what happened, but Maddox has worked out some sort of deal with Landau to go ahead and not be charged any more money by Landau if he is allowed to withdraw. So I think Maddox called up Landau, says, look, I don't have any money. I've got a lien against me already for taxes, and I can't afford to pay you. So even if you won something, I wouldn't be able to pay you. Can we just let this go and stop spending any more money on it? And Landau probably said, yeah, that's my guess. And now they're both praying that Greenberger and Munoz drop their sanctions motions. Mirror on Mirror says Lone Star is greater than PBR, which I think that means you have to fight Clay now. And let's see. Kiwi Farm says there would be logs of it and she'd be liable for it, referring to Rachel Post and her dumb threat. Every query is logged. Yes, I believe so. And Tanu Bojangles says she's a great big dummy then. And, I think if you just go review her Twitter history, you can make a determination about her being a great big dummy pretty quick. That's my opinion. And guys, don't ever respect the degree. That's not a thing. Do you think the deal involved him blowing into his car for him? Yes, probably. He's like, Maddox, I will withdraw any liens I would file against you if you just breathe into this jar that I'm sending you by U.S. Postal Service. Breathe into the jar as much as you can, seal it up, and mail it back to me. Don't ask why. How about that Bethesda lawsuit? Yes, I need to cover the Bethesda lawsuit. Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers for hiring Behavior Interactive, and they claim that Behavior Interactive has used code from the Bethesda mobile game, Fallout Shelter, in creating the Westworld, which is a Warner Brothers property, mobile game. And part of the evidence of that is they had the same bugs and glitches, implying that they used the same code. Good job. Good job, Behavior Interactive. If that's what you did, that was a bad choice. But yes, I will be covering that lawsuit in a video very soon. Mirror on Mirror says, popular opinion, Clay Early eats D-Ikes. Diicks. I think he means penises. Skizzard Fizzle. I'll give you the quick rundown, buddy. Matt, I just did it like 5 minutes ago. But Maddox has agreed to allow Kevin Landau to withdraw as counsel, and Kevin Landau has agreed to not charge Maddox any more money and not go after any outstanding money that Maddox hasn't paid. My personal speculation is that there may have been a final payment involved in that, but I don't know. YouTuber Law covered it and released it today. Well, I'm going to cover it too, because I like Lior, but we do things a little differently. I bet he didn't have as much whiskey as I'll drink when I cover it. Clay's roommate says I might be onto something. Maybe put that text on the screen somewhere. That shirt really looks like Chris Chan shirt. It's not a Chris Chan shirt. It's an Ecuador jersey. Now someone needs to send me a Chris Chan shirt, I guess. Maybe I can get Chris Chan to send me a Chris Chan shirt. Does he care about law? I'm not sure I could sue somebody and use my bugs as proof of copyright infringement. When they're the same bugs, it might imply the same. I don't know if it's copyright infringement. It's well, I mean it is, but so if you don't know how these things work, when you hire an outside company to do code for you, to write code for you, you buy the intellectual property rights to the code typically in your contract. At least when I write contracts for software developers, I always include that the person contracting with the developer is the owner of the specific code that the developer writes. Now, that is unless we have a different type of agreement, but that's kind of the default. The understanding is that you're hiring someone to write code for you. You then own that code going forward in the future. It makes things a lot smoother in software development. So if you have the same bugs, the presumption would be that you have the same code, the same, some of the lines of the same code that should not have been used, but maybe they were. But the defense to that is obviously going to be, no, we didn't use the same code. We used the same coder, and he's a dummy, and he made the same mistake. That would be the idea. Or the same coding team, and they have the same hiccups with every game, and then we have a quality control team come in and fix it, and that just hasn't happened yet with Westworld. Chris Chan gets his shirts from Goodwill. Cover Chris Chan's copyright on Sonichu. He was just kicked out of the convention for forced kissing people. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. YouTuber Law is great, super professional, but Rekieta Law is more fun to watch. Lior's a good guy, and I really do want to do a stream or a video with him, and we have talked about it, but, we're both very busy, so that complicates things, and we both have different ideas on what we're covering and doing, so, but I need to do that. Morning from Eurozone. Memes still legal until September. F for memes in Europe, guys. F for memes in Europe. This one is for you. Thanks for trying to ruin the internet, EU. Thank you. Game development toolkits. Yeah, lots of explanations. Kiwi Farms. Chris is in criminal court for trespassing right now. I'm sure if you want to help him, I could get you any shirt you want. Criminal court in what state? That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Thorn Tizzle. Yeah, I'm actually aware of the issues with coding, and having the same bugs doesn't necessarily mean it's the same problem. But I'm saying, here's the interesting thing that Bethesda has, right? They have this cool advantage, and it's called a federal judge. Let me tell you guys about federal judges. And if you haven't, please go watch my video on the Supreme Court's decision on online taxes, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. He has a federal judge, and a federal judge knows nothing about coding. Maybe less than that. So Bethesda doesn't have to know that they copied it And the toolkit defense might be a factual defense. But if you've got a federal judge who's 86 years old and is spoon-fed and uses a car phone, not a cell phone, because he didn't feel comfortable upgrading it, and goes home and forgot to program his VHS recorder to watch his favorite reruns of Night Court, he just might not accept the defense that a toolkit was out there, and the toolkit that they licensed from a third party had the same bugs as the one they licensed when they wrote Bethesda's game. He just might not understand what a toolkit is at all. Federal judges are old and tech illiterate very frequently. Didn't the EU copyright thing get struck down? I don't know. Virginia, email me if you want the docs. Oh, buddy, I'm definitely going to do that. I definitely want the docs to the Chris Chan lawsuit. I will, to the Chris Chan trespassing charges. I will cover that. Absolutely. Virginia is for virgins. He also ran someone down with a car for banning him from a game store. Wow. Wow, Chris. I've watched that SCOTUS video at least 3 times. It might be my favorite of yours. Federal judges sound scary. They're not scary. They're ancient. I hope I never have to meet one. If you do, it'll be before 4 p.m. and probably over a bowl of tasty wheat. How accurate is Night Court? You know, I haven't watched Night Court in probably 30 years. I don't know. Mark Chen. Don't have too much faith in the judge getting the degree. They might have gotten that degree in 1971. Remember, like, so I mentioned this in the Anthony Kennedy SCOTUS decision on online sales taxes. Anthony Kennedy is talking about the nexus of a business transaction on an online sale. Anthony Kennedy, and then he's talking about the modern economics of the small business world, okay? Anthony Kennedy was appointed to the appellate courts in 1975. For perspective, that's before the 5 1/4 inch floppy disk was invented. As someone wisely said in a comment on mine, that was back when floppy disks were still floppy, and they were extra floppy, and they were disc shaped rather than square. Like, we're talking Anthony Kennedy has never existed outside of a judgeship, of a federal appellate level judgeship in the days of the internet. That man is deciding what an online sales economic situation looks like. First of all, self-included, lawyers are not economists. Self-included, some lawyers are business people because we have small businesses. Some lawyers are not. Some lawyers are just associates that are employed at firms or employed as in-house counsel. Someone who is in office as an appellate court judge cannot own a business, like they cannot own and manage a business that may come under their court. So they really can't manage a business in their own district, and it's impractical to really manage businesses from afar. So since 1975, Anthony Kennedy has not been in business, okay? That guy is talking about modern e-commerce in his judicial opinion. He has no idea what it looks like. I'm sure he can barely use a cordless phone. Chris Chan also burned down his house by plugging a coffee maker in his bathroom and setting it on a bunch of papers. Well, who hasn't done that? The meme law got struck down by Parliament. It's going back to the drawing board for a second try. Oh, good. Whew. I want to see Anthony Kennedy playing MS-DOS Buck Rogers on 3.5 inch floppy. Oh, man. He was Apple II. He was Apple One time, guys. Like, that's how long ago. Oh. Mark Chen, I know, but you gotta remember that you grew up, no matter when, I'm guessing you're not Anthony Kennedy's age, but you grew up in a time when technology existed. Anthony Kennedy, how old is this guy? How old are you, Mark Chen? If you don't mind doxing yourself just a little tiny bit. Let's do this. This will be interesting. That wasn't him. That was his mom. Don't bully Chris. We text each other. No bully zone. He's very independent, actually. That's fantastic. I've got to know more about Christianity. I want to cover this. Mark Chen, you're 26. Anthony Kennedy is 82. Anthony Kennedy was born in 1986. You are 26. You were born in 1992. Okay. For comparison, when you were growing up, let's see, when Anthony Kennedy was 10 years old, let's go with 8 years old. When Anthony Kennedy was 8 years old, food was rationed in the United States because of World War II. And pennies were made out of steel because all of the copper had to go to bullets. Like, we're talking a massively different world. And do not have faith in a judge's ability to understand technology. They have shown again and again and again that they can't. They just can't. We need a second Supreme Court of guys and girls and ladies, with the ladies, who are less than 40 to start judging this stuff. Just think about your life when you were 8. You were 8 in 2000? I mean, right? Yeah, you were 8 in the year 2000. That's phenomenal. You were 8 in the year I graduated high school. You were 8 in the year that Anthony Kennedy was 100. It's not like derogatory or anything. They had a completely different life than you. And they're not adaptable people. Judges are not. They may write about it. If you see a judge in a Supreme Court document, this like 80 or 90-year-old judge writing about technology, they're taking words directly from one of the lawyers, and it's not necessarily the right one. Okay? Remember the guy who gave out I wanted to interview him, but it just didn't line up. But the guy who gave out copies of Microsoft Windows, who gave out backup copies of Microsoft Windows that needed a license key, all he did was take the free download from Microsoft and put it on a disk and try to give it away for free. That guy is going to prison, okay? Because of injustice. And the lawyers in the room saying, this is free software. You cannot use this. Cannot give you a copy of Windows without a license. They didn't believe them. They believed the other lawyer who said the wrong thing. Like, this is who you're dealing with. No. I'm going to stop trying to convince you. You're dealing with people who are so old that they don't know how to change what they know. That's how old they've gotten. So, let's see. See you later, Keck. Have fun. For context, his generation calls people who bump into them Nazis. Justice, on the other hand, actually knew real Nazis. If you read up on patent copyright law regarding source code, it's a cluster. Absolutely. Judges don't have any idea. There is no explaining it to them. Like, they're that old. I wish I could demonstrate it to you better. Maybe I'll cover US v. Jones, in which Antonin Scalia rants on about how the FBI attached something to a car and that was the problem with GPS tracking. But, and not the fact that they could have done it through a phone. Like, these guys just they don't know. They don't know. No, it's not that I know better than you do. It's like, this is not an offensive thing. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I'm trying to impress upon you just like, okay, find your great-grandma, go to a nursing home and try and get someone in that nursing home to understand the process by which we stream a movie online, like the technical process for streaming a movie. Show them a bit of source code and try and explain it to them. It's the same thing. Supreme Court justices, appellate court justices, federal district court justices, they're all appointed for life, and they could be 100 years old. They could literally anywhere else be on life support in a home playing checkers against a picture of a monkey and wouldn't know the difference. Like, that's how old some of these people are and how much help some of them need. But because they're appointed for life and no one questions it, they'll sit there and just issue opinions. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Oh my goodness. Explain to them what an iframe is in video compression. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Mirror on mirror. I couldn't even navigate Encyclopedia Dramatica. I'm only 36. Now double my age and add some years. That's what you got. I heard Anthony Kennedy was mad as Fortnite for Switch doesn't support PlayStation linked accounts. So at that point, is it just the lawyer that is more charismatic that wins over these old timers? Yes. At Clay's Roommate, absolutely. The lawyer who who remembers the new episodes of Bonanza, that's the guy who wins. My grandfather always marveled at the idea that a satellite could produce color broadcasts of a basketball game in a different state. I do too, actually. I marvel at that. Can Congress declare Ginsburg infirm and unfit? No. She would need to be impeached. And there isn't... She would... Okay. I shouldn't say no. Yes, Congress could impeach Ginsburg, presumably, for unfitness. Look at that. Death to the mosquito. They could presumably impeach her for unfitness, but it would be really tough. There's no precedent that I'm aware of for impeaching a sitting Supreme Court justice. And Maxwell Silver, not Kimball. I wish Kimball was here. Says, dude, Maddox sucks, LMFAO. Gadscad says, just realized I've been a giant bigot tonight. I shouldn't have said Chris Chan. It's Christina Chan since he used internet subliminal messages to grow a clit. That's amazing. Okay. I can only imagine Theoden from Lord of the Rings at the judge bench with worm-tongue Landwy whispering in his ear. It's what it is. They have young law clerks. They do. They do. But you try and change the mind of a judge appointed for life as a law clerk. And make no mistake, lots of law clerks and lots of law school graduates and lots of lawyers are giant dummies. Guys, we're not special people. We're not particularly smart or talented or anything like that. Some are, just like anywhere else. But a lot of them, you've got money or debt or work, that you put in and you get your degree, just like everywhere else. There are a bunch of dumb engineers out there too. Why did the founding fathers think that having justices for life was a good idea? The life expectancy was, 48? How do we get the mosquito genocide going? Dude, I want those Terminator mosquitoes, and I want them now. Quickest and most economical death sentence ever carried out. Yes. I'm pro death penalty for mosquitoes. That's not a joke. Google Christina Chandler. Oh, I didn't think you were joking at all. Mark Chan, I'm calling animal protection on you. It's my ethical responsibility to do so. There are plenty of great engineers, 40 years old and older and younger. Absolutely, but there are plenty of dumb ones. Tech wasn't changing every half year back in 1776. What if I wanted a special disabled lawyer? There are lots of disabled lawyers. There's no disability that's a bar to becoming a lawyer. If you can go through school and pass the bar, you can become a lawyer. Absolutely. How do I guess unmedicated schizophrenia or something like that would probably be a question. But they would, assuming there wasn't some sort of evidence suggesting that the illness impacted their ability to represent clients, should be fine. Trust me, engineers are some of the dumbest people I know. My grandpa was an engineer, and he was not a dumb person. He was a very smart engineer. And my uncle was an engineer as well. He's a very smart guy as well. But yeah, it's just like anybody. Twitter is in plenty of evidence that there are dumb PhDs out there. Ex post facto, voir dire, Tupac, go. Tupac's still alive, and you know it. He's on the island with Biggie and Aaliyah and Elvis. Elvis is the mayor. They're all hanging out. They found the record company used Foundation Digital and Weber Shandwick to create algorithms to find out when the optimal death time for celebrities was to maximize their post-mortem sales. That's why Heath Ledger is also still alive and why Batman did so well. And you know it. What is the baseline between inability and disability? I don't know. Or an allergy to electricity that might prevent you from being an effective lawyer. Is Jesus with them? Jesus is with all of us, my friend. That island now includes XXX Temptation. Oh. Thoughts on public schools? No good ones. No good thoughts on public schools. I'm not going to have a full glass, but I'm going to tap off a little Makers here. XXX Temptation is just a Chris Brown alt. Max, you should go on Fantano's Twitter, and he had a a hot takes thread. You should definitely go post that on there. I think that would do well. So did I, Max. I went to a public school too. Wasn't any good. I know lots of ridiculous SJW dumb teachers, but public school is important. You can think public school is important, but and maybe it is. I'm not going to disagree with you on that because I don't have the data. But I will say this: I don't know if it's a formalized fallacy, but there should be, if there isn't, a fallacy that says because we got to the way that we got to where we are is not necessarily the only way to get to where we are. Okay? I've had this argument with people before. Like, they talked about socialism or unions or whatever, commies, being responsible for a 40-hour work week. Saying that without them, we wouldn't have it. Well, they can't actually show that without them, we wouldn't have it because that's the way we got it, but that's not the only way to get it. And we can't go back and decide that there is some other way we would have gotten there or decide that there is some other way we wouldn't have gotten there. There is an alternative model to public schooling. Absolutely an alternative model to public schooling. And that is, actually our country was built on the idea of localized private schooling. And public schooling, doesn't have to exist in the way we know it now, where the state and the feds have a lot to say. It could be very community-based and community-oriented. There are different models for education that are out there. And I'm not entirely convinced that a K through 12 education is the optimal amount of education or optimal level of education at all. No one has provided me good evidence that kids need a K through 12 education to effectively learn. There are plenty of other ways to do it. So, Gats, you're out. See you later. What do you think about Spotify changing course on judging their artists? I have no idea what that's about. I haven't read anything about it. Vegeta is the best part of Dragon Ball Z. Yes, with a close second being Piccolo. Does that mean Landau has a disability against lawyering? Well, it seems like it. Should we still be funding public schools and the U.S. Postal Service? No, not in the way we do it. Not in the way we do it. I've never met someone who said their parents' divorce was a mistake. The counterfactual of their parents working it out, not knowable. Of course, studies of the facts be damned. Right. I agree that federally mandated curricula, etc., don't fit local needs well enough. Yeah. And I'm just saying that there are alternative models for things that we haven't explored that might be viable. We won't know because we won't explore them. Is Bardock on the island? I hope so. I hate Gosh, I hate playing against Bardock. I'm engineering. In engineering, this is called Tim Toady, aka there's more than one way to do it. Have you ever shown up to work and been like, I did too much lawsplaining last night? Yeah, every day that I show up to work. What would it take to implement term limits for the Supreme Court? It would take an amendment to the Constitution. Has Poppy won? You know, it's getting really close to that happening. So, update on the Poppy lawsuit is there is no news. In fact, there's no proof of service, and that could be really bad for Mars Argo and Sheets. She has, I think, not even 20 days left. I think she has until the 23rd of this month to provide proof of service. Under the rules, you have 90 days to serve the opposing party once a summons has been issued by the court, and she does not appear to have done so. So, if she doesn't file that proof in the next, 17 or 18 days or whatever, then Poppy will win by default. My public school was community tailored. In my hometown, there's a huge Hmong population, so we were all taught basic Hmong to communicate, and it worked out super well. That's cool. You didn't tell me you spoke basic Hmong? Piccolo is Gohan's real daddy. Isn't it official DBZ canon that Bardock's last name is Lesnar? Do you ever get sick of being a law? Like, do you ever get burned out of it? Obviously, every job has those days, but really being a law seems like a lifestyle more than a job. Not yet. I mean, there are days when it's really hard, absolutely. But winning is the most rewarding thing just about on the planet. Like, not much feels better than having some judge say, oh, yeah, you are right and the other person is wrong. That's great. I also speak a good bit of Korean. Well, there you go. Oh. Who's Tot Mupples? Brock Lesnar is not a terrifying... Well, I mean, he's terrifying, but he's not that terrifying. Frank Mir, put him to task. You speak and read Vietnamese. Well, cool, man. I don't. I speak a very small amount of French, and I can struggle through reading it, but God, it's awful. Whatever happened to the kids from the episode where Gohan ran away from Piccolo's training? Guessing Piccolo killed them. Bardock is so butt in every piece of DBZ media we see. Even an episode of Bardock, why is he so legit in Fighter Z while they poop on Gotenks? Yeah, I don't know why he's so tough in Fighter Z. Whatever happened with the Adore versus Peg case? Man, I have no... What's that? Adore versus Peg. Did I cover that? What are your thoughts on Olive Garden? I mean, I love their never-ending pasta bowl and their never-ending soup bowl. I wish there was an Olive Garden in my town. That's how terrible the food in Wilmer is that I wish there was an Olive Garden. Adore versus Peg is a Landau case that it seems he's winning. I'll have to look into it. I was going to cover the Muppets case, but the Muppets case didn't happen. It got tossed. It got tossed. The Muppets lost. The Muppets lost. I did cover it a little bit on Livestream, reading as Elmo about copious ejaculation. So that was interesting. Guys, I said I was going to end the stream like 30 minutes ago. Here I am just sitting here chatting with you. That gnocchi soup, though. Yeah, the gnocchi soup is good. I love the, what is it? The zuppa toscana. It's the, like, white potato soup. That's good. You could open a Wahlburgers. I hear they're having a hard time franchising. What does Lady R think of what? As a former employee of Olive Garden, have you ever brought a business meeting to Olive Garden? Turn yourself in for malpractice. I am just sitting here. Oh, Lady Rackets is not feeling well tonight, so she's sleeping it off. Who do you pick on Street Fighter 2? I pick Ken, not Ryu, because Ken does the roll on the fierce kick throw. Do you think you can legislate artificial intelligence? I don't know. I mean, I guess I have kind of just a joke about how I'd maybe take artificial intelligence over actual stupidity of legislators. But I'm not sure. A6 into Ren 6E. Yeah, I'm still going. Thanks, Max. I appreciate it. Yeah, if everybody has not listened, go listen to Ask Uncle Buck episode 4, I think, which was just released. Buck and I had a nice conversation. Uncle Buck was my first biggest problem / Dick Show / Maddox related friend on the internet. He and I started talking after the homeschooling episode. You can hear all about it on the Ask Uncle Buck, and it's a fun one. Doll seems good, but no, I go with Ken. Fun fact, Mark Wahlberg is a horrible human being and the media just kind of accepts it. I like Mark Wahlberg. Sure, maybe he's done some terrible things. Are you sure you don't pick Ken because of implicit racism? Not anymore. What's your favorite restaurant locally? In Wilmer, there are no good restaurants. But in Spicer, which is actually, I live just outside of Spicer, Minnesota, which is near Wilmer. There's a restaurant named O'Neill's, which serves pretty decent food. It's a locally owned restaurant and bar, and it's an independent place. I'm not a big fan of chain restaurants. Although we do have a chain restaurant in Spicer also called Bella Cucina, which is pretty decent. It's fine. It's pronounced Rue. The Dodgers pitchers with that name told me so. Also, Dalsim for life. I'm going to go with Ryu. In your legal opinion, can an AI be held accountable for crimes if it's sentient? I guess. I just don't know how you'd implement punishment. VIM versus Emacs. Who wins in that case? I have no idea. A reminder, Mark Wahlberg is Marky Mark and his Funky Bunch. What's your favorite thing about Applebee's? When it closes and when they burn down. Have you ever heard of a show called Psycho-Pass? It's basically Minority Report combined with 1984. Oh, goodness. Is that an anime? I think I've seen Psycho-Pass listed. That might be an anime. I have seen it. I've not watched it. I've seen I don't want to say, I've seen it on video on demand lists or whatever. Grayson Leach, do you drink coffee or just whiskey? Lol. Pretty much just whiskey. No, I don't. I don't drink coffee. Usually I drink during the day. I try and avoid soda because that's terrible for you. So I drink a lot of vitamin water because I don't like regular water. But, some sort of flavored water is good. Repeat the question. Okay, Buff G Bob says repeat the question. Knows what you're responding to. Yeah, that's because you guys chat and then I talk and then there's a delay. Sorry. So I don't know what question. But yeah, Grayson Leach says, do you drink coffee or just whiskey? I typically just drink whiskey for the streams. I don't usually drink coffee. However, I should say that a guy from my Discord, Spooky Lizard, oh, excuse me, sent me a bunch of coffee from my favorite racist coffee chain, which is Starbucks. And I am anxious to try it. So thank you, buddy. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And I am not typically a coffee drinker, but I'll certainly try it out. He said it was for those long nights, or for the mornings after these long nights of lawsplaining. I'll try it out for sure. And if I don't drink it, Lady Rackets does drink coffee quite a bit. So it will get consumed in this house. I've seen all the episodes of Cold Case Files. Am I a law degree? Probably. Vietnam water? What? Vietnam. Vitamin water has more sugar than Coke. Not vitamin water zero. It has zero sugar. Trying to be constructive. You do a solid job most times. Well, yeah, thanks, buddy. How great was the bankruptcy scam 50 Cent ran? Oh, see, guys, I'm sure it was good. I have no idea, though. I haven't read anything about it. Buff G Bob says, only annoying if I'm listening to a replay mowing the lawn. My lawnmower is too loud for that. Okay, I got to go finish editing the documentary. Bye-bye, Nick. Good stream. Thanks, Max. Hopefully you'll have a good documentary when at the next road rage that I'm at. So I'll be looking for you, pal. Thoughts on that dude that stole a kid's MAGA hat at Whataburger? The police report holds any stance? I haven't actually watched the video. Someone sent it to me, so I'll have to check it out. I don't have any thoughts yet. Grayson Leach says, F yeah, I own a little coffee roasting company. I'll send y'all some better than Starbucks and equally as racist. Well, thanks, man. I'd appreciate that. And like I said, certainly Lady Rackets will appreciate it, even if I'm not the biggest fan. Although I will say, my friend, his mom and stepdad own part of a coffee plantation in Guatemala, and they sometimes bring back coffee for us. And I have had that, and it is fantastic. Fantastic coffee. Very smooth. I'm not a fan of the bitterness of coffee. I like a very smooth coffee, so if that helps. What kind of lawnmower do you got? Would Hank Hill approve? My lawnmower is an Exmark Laser Z. Zero-turn lawnmower. I think it's a 2004 or 2005. It's pretty sweet. I think Hank Hill would approve, although it does not run on propane. It can carry propane accessories. You need those 3M Bluetooth headphones for mowing. My brother swears by them. I think I need noise-canceling headphones for mowing. Dick is uploading the Road Rage. I hope it comes out soon. Yeah, I haven't watched. I want to watch it. Add salt to the grinds to cut the bitterness and acidity. Now you're getting fancy. Superman versus Goku. Who will win? Goku. Buff G Bob says this guy mows. Well, I got a lot of land to mow. Sort of. You know, I've got just under 8 acres, and a lot of it is just grass. So we have to have a good mower for it. Or don't and buy better coffee. Ooh, that's fighting words. All right, guys, we're 2.5 hours in. What I would love to do is go grab a snack and then maybe do some Twitch streaming, because I haven't played video games in I think like a month, because I got back from Florida. I was busy, and then I went to Texas. I've gotten back from Texas, and I've been busy, and so I haven't live streamed anything. So I would love to move this live stream over to Twitch. If any of you guys want to join me, you are certainly welcome to. I'm going to start it up in probably 15 minutes or so. What I want to do is close down this stream, go grab some food, take care of my dog, and then I'll be back. Okay? So how much would you pay me to mow your lawn? Well, I can get my lawn mowed for about $50, so not more than that. You said you wanted to buy a farm to anyone in any other states. That's a farm. We're looking at buying roughly 74 acres right now because we'd like to build on it in the future. But building a house is super expensive, so who knows? Get up on that Friday the 13th, peak whining children. What am I going to play? Zoic, no. I just was gifted Darkest Dungeon, so I might play that. Clay's roommate says, thanks, Nick. Always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure, Clay's roommate as well. You seem much cooler than Clay, even though Clay's my dude. Thanks, Sean Thompson. I appreciate it. Brandon B. Inquisitor is a good one. Inquisitor has released a new mode for top level gaming, and I'm not at top level on Inquisitor, so maybe I do need to play some Inquisitor. That's a solid choice. So Buff G Bob, what's on Twitch tonight? Either Inquisitor Martyr or Darkest Dungeon. I'll decide while I make some food. New video channel, Rekieta Construction. Darkest Dungeon is RNG. The game gets worse the further you get in. Perfect. Not Vermintide 2, Andrew. Brandon B. Absolutely. Sounds good. Let me end this stream because I need some food, and then we'll pop on Twitch. Thanks everybody else. Thanks everybody. Thanks Clay for modding. You're still my dude, Clay. I love you. And Mirror on Mirror says shout out to LA Phil. The best place in Minnesota is a bar in Chester, Iowa. Darkest Dungeon is at 4 co-op. We could join you if you'd like. I think I might do some Inquisitor tonight because I don't think the guy who gave me Darkest Dungeon is still up. So I'm going to maybe wait on jumping into that. But I think tonight I'm going to do some Inquisitor because they just announced Warzone and I got to get some levels under me so I can get up to Warzone level because that sounds fun. And I also need a Thunderhammer. When Nick says Clay, I keep thinking, is that one guy who called into the Dick Show? That is Clay. That's Clay. Clay is the dude who called into the Dick Show. Clay is the Chicago monster. I don't know. What nickname do you have besides PBR Hound? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna blank out the screens, and then I'll be popping up on Twitch very soon with some Inquisitor Martyr for you guys. If anyone wants to come over, please do so. Bring banter and questions too. A lot of my Twitch streams are kind of quiet with me just kind of going while playing, but I would love to interact. Although, yeah, I'll figure it out. My second monitor is still down, so I'll have to do it on my phone, but that's fine. I'll do it on my phone. So yeah. Anyways, see you guys soon on Twitch or on the next stream tomorrow night. Thanks for joining me as always, and peace. Have a good night. Enjoy everything. Talk to you later.